Good afternoon and welcome to the Ethan King Foundation Weekly Update and Press Briefing. I appreciate everyone being here. We are coming to you today from the East Coast Operations Center Press Room in Juliet, North Carolina, which is in the greater Greensboro area. This is where all of our operations run for the East Coast, from the Murder Meth Project to the HIV/AIDS outreach, prevention, and management programs, to, of course, many of our East Coast callers come into the call centers here at the East Coast Operations Center. So that's where we're coming from to today. We have many things to report on. One thing that has been brought to my attention as far as our donors are concerned, which let me please tell you that we appreciate every donation that has been coming in. I get letters every day with donations saying they wish they could do more. And I just want you to know that's not necessary. Every dollar counts. Every dollar is appreciated. And we appreciate everything that you're doing. We're going to discuss today other ways that you can also donate. And that's without money. It's donating your time, donating your knowledge and your wisdom as we form an institutional review board, which is a requirement by the Health and Human Services Department of the federal government because we work with people. So, back to the donors, just to let you know very quickly, anyone requesting proof of our 501c3 status, which is our tax-exempt status from the IRS, you can request it via email to support@ethankingfoundation.org. And just let us know that you need a copy of our IRS 501c3 prior to your donation. If you're planning to make a donation, this generally applies to those people that are going to make donations typically in larger amounts and want to ensure their tax deductibility. So we do have that letter ready for you. This past week has been an extremely busy week for us. We are all kind of coming off a nice restful weekend for the most of us. Not me, because I don't rest that often. There's always something to do. Nonprofit's a rough world in today's economy, but we are definitely doing it. Let me take this time to thank Secretary Reed for all of her extremely hard work. Thank you very much, Amber. For Chief Financial Officer Bob, thank you. I appreciate all of your hard work and dedication. Vice President Etta Roberts, thank you. And all of the support staff and volunteers that we have that have really helped to make this possible. This past week we have registered and been verified with various government organizations, including the ERA, with grants.gov as we continue our search for grants. We got our central contractor registration complete with the federal government, as well as our registration with Duns & Bradstreet. So we really moved along, and I would have to say at the lead of Secretary Reed, who kind of guided us all through the process of very tedious and very long paperwork processes for the federal government, so that we can continue on our growth strategy and plan as we have originally indicated, and that has not changed. This week we have also gotten our Certificate of Authority from the state of North Carolina, which we had a certain amount of 90 days to receive as we continue to operate out of North Carolina. We received that, as well as our verification of good standing with the state of North Carolina, with the state of Texas, and internationally and nationally through the IRS. Excuse the international part that I'm coming to. As I reviewed our reports this morning, it set me off to an excellent, good Monday morning. It looks like both call volume and client satisfaction with those that we are assisting are both in a steady incline. I would attribute this to excellent work of everyone involved in the organization. Every single person plays an intricate role, and it couldn't be done without you. I further credit the upgrades that we made when we made some capital improvements deciding how we were going to spend our money wisely to better reach those in the target demographic in which we wish to serve. We also have additional alliances with overflow call centers to help us if we are overloaded, so that our wait times for those in crisis is minimized. In taking a quick glance at our website, crisis website numbers, they look rather flat, but slightly above week prior. Not quite as high as I expected, but much of this I think will correct itself with our increased advertising on various websites, which actually begins this week. Our continued network and promotion of the crisis websites, and as we drive people from ethinkingfoundation.org, which everyone knows is our corporate website, over to the crisis websites, we will see an increase in volume of traffic. Those reaching out to us through our networking site seems to be the big pop right now. I think with everything going on in the world, everyone is now aware of Twitter. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are on MySpace. And, of course, we come to you through YouTube. Every indicator that we track is showing an incline, including the number of emails of support, of caring, of motivation, and of thank you from those that we have helped and those that support what we are doing. To those people, to all of you, to anyone I've helped, to anyone this organization has helped, we're glad to have helped you. We will continue to follow up with you, and we appreciate you using the resources that we're trying to make available to you. Case in point, last week was an absolutely wonderful week for the Ethan King Foundation, a total celebration. We, at our board meetings, which we've had several in the past week, to address different topics and different things that have come up as we've gone through the processes of continuing to grow. We have absolutely celebrated our successes as well as identified our opportunities. I would like for anyone interested in donating their time to consider joining our institutional review board, which is the next step in the process of things that we have to do to continue on our growth pattern and our growth strategy as it relates to opening up the gay men's wellness centers and the launch of additional programs. In layman's terms, it's an ethics oversight committee. Because we deal with human people and we are servicing humans, the Health and Human Services Department of the U.S. federal government requires that we have an oversight committee to ensure patient safety, health, and confidentiality when we go as an organization to report our results back to the federal government. Of course, we do not report confidential information. We do not report names. We do not report situations. We report demographics. We group people into things like age or ethnicity or, which crisis line they called in on. And what that does is it allows us to measure the impact that we're making on the geographical location that we are currently serving. Anytime that a nonprofit 501c3 charitable organization does receive federal grant money, they must report the results, obviously, to make sure that the federal government is not wasting their money and their dollars are being used for good cause. Again, the data gathered on individual patients is not transmitted to the government, but grouped by demographic